almost 50% of protected areas within Southeast Asia were not able to protect against forest loss. Expanding protected areas is important, but it's not the only thing, right? We need to make sure that protected areas continue to work. Funding is a huge problem when it comes to trying to make sure that protected areas function well. So I think a very important part here is what we call continued and sustained funding. So we need to make sure that protected areas can continue to get money to function to meet all the budgetary needs that they have. And one potential mechanism is using market-based mechanisms, using things like carbon markets and carbon credit generation in order to protect forests. A carbon credit is basically 1 ton of carbon dioxide that was sequestered or prevented from being emitted. This carbon credit can be bought by you and me or by companies that are looking to offset their emissions. This actually is a mechanism itself to generate money that can eventually be funneled to project developers who actually protect the land itself. But not all places, not all projects might be completely additional. So in areas that are already protected due to law or legislation that existed before the intervention itself, that area wasn't actually threatened by deforestation. Without this threat, it means that that amount of carbon that is within the forest was not a threat of being released. Without this form of additionality, it actually doesn't count towards a carbon credit. So basically, these forests will not be able to generate carbon credits, and they can't really rely on carbon credit as a way to fund their projects. Instead, they might want to rely on other legal or other effective means of conservation, and that might be a more reliable or more sustainable way of funding their projects.
It is important to understand where and under what conditions various conservation strategies should be employed, which is what we try to do in our lab when we explore conservation strategies that are ecologically sound, financially viable, and socially responsible.
We sort of need to achieve all three in order to make sure that our efforts, our implementation, our interventions are truly sustainable in the long term.